Allow me to finish. Now,
It's a pretty simple
the
question.
classical, not Josh's,
Yeah.
the classical understanding of Islamic scholarship throughout, without deviation, is the term neighbor could mean them being Muslim, Jew, Christian, or atheist.
That is not true.
That is true.
That is not true.
Now, Josh,
No, that's not
I
true.
would rather.
Straight up, that is not true.
Bear with me.
No,
I
because
would rather.
I am under a different
Josh,
legal standard
Josh,
than you because
this
I'm
is
not
not
part
legality.
of the Ummah.
This
This is always legality.
Josh, another straw
Here's the
man
thing.
argument.
This whole conversation
Another
right
straw man
now
argument.
started with me asking you
Another
what is the
straw
wisdom in
man
Islam,
argument.
and now this is you yelling at me.
Another straw man
If I
argument.
talked with a Buddhist, I'd have an actual
Hold on, he's
conversation.
getting loose. He's not getting loose.
If I talk with a Taoist, I have an
Ano-
actual conversation.
Another straw man argument.
No, I'm not telling you what you
beg of you.
believe. I
I'm
asked
not letting
where
this
is the
go.
wisdom
I'm not
literature
letting
in
this
Islam.
go.
I asked where the wisdom literature
Please,
is.
please.
And now you're in a conversation with me trying to
Josh, I'm
redefine
not letting this go.
what neighbor is.
I would rather take the understanding of Imam Nawawi, hadith scholar, Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, one of the greatest hadith scholars, on the understanding of the term neighbor, than Josh on the 29th or wherever you are in July 2022, with all due respect, with your cowboy hat. Okay? I would
this is a
rather
Panama
take
hat.
the
Thank you.
understanding.
This is Cuban.
Yeah, and this is what?
Air Max.
Right, thank you. So, with all due respect, I'm going to take these two great scholars' understanding of the term neighbor and what it entails and the persons it entails rather than yours.
Okay, so why am I under the jizya?
No, you're not.
Before we
I'm
answer,
not right now, but I should be, right?
Do you
brother.
concede the
No,
before we answer the question about jizya,
Do you concede? I don't want to go.
no,
don't go there.
Here's the thing. I
Can
want to go back to my
can
original question.
You can,
No, I wanna
but
go
can
back
we
to my
can
original
we can we
question.
get a clarification from you?
No, because
Of course you can.
honestly,
Of
like,
course
I
you
would
should.
like to go back to my original
Sure,
question.
but can we have just one clarification from you?
No more clarifications.
Do you know what this
original
clarification
question.
is on?
No.
It's on what you said.
I want to go back to my original question.
Okay, so
This
let's
is not a
leave
hard
that. Let's leave
concept to
that.
grasp.
Fine.
I'm asking
Fine.
for
What
the
is your original
wisdom-
question?
What is the wisdom? So in other religions, you have wisdom literature, right? You have books devoted to teaching someone ethics, morality, wisdom, right? And when I'm saying these things, this is not a hard-coded system of law like Sharia, right? So in Buddhism, you have a set of concepts that guides how you interact in daily life, right? They don't have specific rules. They talk about right actions, right thinking, right speaking, right? And I can say this, like, I am not a Buddhist in any way, right? I'm someone who does, no, I do comparative religious studies, right?
No, what is your belief?
I'm a Christian.
Christian.
So, Buddhism has what you would call an ethical base, right? It has a system of ethics that it teaches. Taoism, by the same token, you have this idea of being in congruence with the Tao, right? So they have an ethical base that guides them without hard system of laws, right? Confucianism gets more into like how to build a society, but it also gets back to the ethical base. Zen has an ethical base. Hinduism has an ethical base. Even sects of Christianity I don't believe in, right? Roman Catholicism, they have an ethical base, right? Philosophy, Hermeticism has an ethical base. As much as like some of these other religions, as skewed as their ethics may be, for example, Satanists, they have an ethical base. It's horrible, but they do have one, right? It's just horribly wrong. As far as I've seen in studying Islam, I've read the Quran, I've read the Hadiths, I've studied some of Sharia, I started reading Reliance of the Traveler. My question is, where is this literature in Islam? And literally, I'm not asking as a guiding question or an aggressive question. I'm literally asking so I can find it and go read it. Because this is the one thing, every time I ask a Muslim about this is basically what happens.
Sure. What's your name?
Josh.
Josh. So what do ethical literature do to people? They teach people ethics.
Right.
And morality.
Right.
Right? Okay. When you read the Quran, did you find the ethical and moral principles enshrined within the Quranic verses, or have you missed them?
That's the thing. I really don't see them enshrined.
So you missed them.
So no, because the basic idea with Sharia and the beliefs of Islam.
We're not talking about Sharia. I'm just talking about the Quran. Let's focus on the Quranic text. Josh, let's just focus on the Quranic text.
I'm basically
as you read the Quran. No, let's make it simple, Josh.
I am speaking about practical morality, right? That's why I wanted to.
Me precisely speaking the same thing. So when you read the Quranic text, did you really miss those ethical and moral principles enshrined within the Quran, throughout the Quran?
And this is what I'm going straight back to. When we're talking about ethics, right? Ethics is not laws. So there are laws in the
Am I talking about law?
Yes.
What did I say? Did I say ethics and moral principles?
Yes.
So why are you strawmanning me?
What ethics are presented in the Quran?
No, remember just what I'm saying. I said I'm giving as a
Specifically,
surprise.
Can you give me an
Before
an
I
ethical
give you
example from the
before I give you a specific example, I asked you with a surprise. Have you missed? You studied the Quran. Studying means you actually read it with a scope of understanding it, not just simply reading it superficially. And you missed the ethical and moral principles that it.
Okay, so let's assume I missed them.
So now, give me an example of anything about ethics and morality outside Islam, and see whether the Quran doesn't talk about it. Give me an example.
Right, I've talked about Buddhism and
Not religion. Give me an example of ethics or a principle of morality.
But I've given
moral.
you that. So can you give me an example of ethics in the Quran?
Do you know what I mean?
What do you consider as your ethics?
Give me for example, backbiting. Is that a legal thing or something about moral things? So whether you backbite is a moral thing or not?
Right, so what is the ethical basis for not backbiting?
Before you say ethical basis,
Right.
When we talk about don't backbite or it's okay to backbite, is this linked with morality and ethics?
This is what I'm getting at. Ethics are the engine behind law, right? So when
Did you understand my question?
Yes, I did.
What is my question?
So when you say don't backbite, right, that's a command.
No.
Yes.
Backbiting?
Yes.
No, backbiting on its own, backbiting.
Yes.
So not about do's and don'ts, backbiting.
Right.
So backbiting is an action of the heart, of the limbs, of the
So
of the
what
wait.
what
Josh,
makes backbiting
wait.
wrong?
Wait, Josh.
No,
wait.
'cause
Josh. I'm explaining.
No, I'm going to cut through all this.
But I'm explaining to you.
Yeah, you're not.
I'm
so I'm gonna
hang
cut
on,
through all
Josh.
this real quick, right?
You need to have a
is,
conversation rather than a
what-
monologue.
My question is, what makes backbiting wrong?
Okay, let me tell you first of all. Backbiting is an action of the tongue and of the heart. So that means, is it linked with your morality and ethics? Is it part of morality and ethics? Is it a subject in morality and ethics?
I asked a really specific question. Right?
I am going to first establish, is backbiting included within the topic or subject of morality and ethics? Or is it part of law?
Okay.
Do you have
So-
an English law about backbiting?
Allow me to
Josh.
actually talk about this, right?
Josh.
So there's a difference between ethics and morality, right? There's two different words.
Yes.
Right? So morality is driven by ethics.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying that the Quran doesn't have a system of morality. I'm asking where is a system of ethics.
Okay.
They're different
So in
things.
backbiting, does it have the foundation in ethics?
So
I'm asking. Either you say I do know or I don't know.
no, this is actually the problem I'm going at, right? Because there are laws in the Quran.
I'm not talking about laws.
Right. Yeah.
Why are you strawmanning my argument?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
So talk about backbiting.
So yes, I am talking.
Backbiting,
This
is
is
it rooted in the foundation
This
of
is
ethics?
my basic question. Is it rooted in ethics?
I'm asking you.
No, because that's my question.
Do you know?
If I had a system of laws,
asking
no,
you.
no,
I'm asking
no,
you.
No,
No, I'm asking
So let me explain.
to the
Let me explain.
people
All right.
who study ethics,
Right.
is it part of ethics?
So if this is my
Not you.
explanation, right?
Okay.
So let me go through this.
Go ahead.
Because not understanding the difference between morality and ethics is important for this conversation, right?
Okay.
If I was to,
What is ethics? Explain first of all.
Like I said, ethics is basically the engine behind morality. It's why morals are.
What is ethics?
That I just said that.
No, it doesn't make sense to me. What is an ethic? What
I
is
don't care
ethic?
if it makes sense to you. If it doesn't make sense to you, that's
Look,
a deficiency on your
a
part.
definition must make sense. What is an ethic? What is ethics?
It is the engine behind morality. It's why things are
What
wrong and
is
right.
it ethics?
It's why things are wrong and right.
Why things are wrong
Why?
and right.
Yes.
Finally. So ethic, from what you are saying, let's
Right.
take that for granted. Ethics is about why things are right or wrong.
Well, hold up. Because you keep
Or,
on
have I
positing.
misrepresented you?
Yeah, you keep on positing situations of what, right? The Quran has what.
I didn't say about what.
No, I'm
You
saying
said
about
why,
what.
didn't you?
I'm saying about yes. And this,
Right.
That's
So
why
do
I'm
we
talking-
agree in
No, no.
your understanding, ethics is about
is
why
what-
things are right or wrong?
And this is why I keep on bringing this back up, because I'm talking about the difference between morality and ethics.
I'm not talking about morality now, I'm talking about
Yes,
ethics.
I am talking about morality right now.
So when I want to talk about morality, you
No,
drive
no,
me to
no,
ethics.
no, no.
Let's deal
'Cause
with
it's-
the ethics
No.
and then
hold
move
up,
on.
Hold up. Because we need to establish this.
Josh.
The why is what I'm asking. The what is what the Quran has.
I'm going,
not
before
asking
you
about- No,
give
no,
me
no,
your
no, no.
misinterpretation
I'm
of the
not
Quran.
asking about the what. I'm asking about the why, the ethical basis.
Sure.
That is my
So
question.
do you agree?
So that's what I
Do
want.
you agree? Ethics, as you said, ethics is about. Do you want to just check the dictionary definition? Ethics is about why things are right or wrong.
Yes.
Right.
I said that.
Good. Agree so far?
Okay.
Let's take that definition for granted. Why things are wrong.
Okay.
Backbiting. Backbiting is a part of ethics. Does ethics cover that?
Not does it? That's the question.
I'm asking you.
No, and
You're the one who studied.
Yeah. that's actually the pertinent part of it. Because
I'm asking you, either you know or you don't know. Which one is it?
Because when we're talking about ethics, right, is backbiting covered in Buddhism? Yes.
I'm not talking about Buddhism.
No, this is important when we're talking about ethics, because ethics is a science, right? So if you're talking about Buddhism, that is covered under the ethical system of Buddhism, right? Buddhists don't so much have laws, so it's not necessarily covered by a moral teaching. It's covered in their ethical system, right? These are two separate things.
You've explained that three times already.
I've explained that, and apparently I have to do it again.
Why? Why?
No. Because you keep on it. My question is about.
Did I misunderstand you first time?
Right. So I'm not questioning whether or not backbiting.
Why are you taking your interlocutor like dumb? Why?
I mean, I've had to explain it a couple times. So
no, I didn't even ask you for explanation. I understood the first time.
No, I've had to give one.
You know, you kept repeating yourself as if like you don't understand yourself.
I'm not trying to repeat myself. I just have to keep
No. You keep on repeating because you don't even know what you're talking about.
No, I know exactly.
So now let's go back again.
The problem. I'm thinking that the problem is
listen.
that you know
Josh,
there's not an ethical system in it.
No. Don't jump the gun and put your misunderstanding, right?
I'm not really jumping the gun.
Okay,
We've been
Josh.
here for like 30 minutes.
Okay, 30 minutes? You even have a very misunderstanding of time as well in terms of how much time has gone. 30 minutes.
Do you even understand what
okay, brother,
backbiting is?
Backbiting. What is backbiting?
Bro. Does the Quran has a book on ethics? Or
The Quran incorporates ethics and morality within its teachings.
Right, where?
So wait.
Quote me the ethical teachings. That's all I need.
I'm
It's
trying
simple. Just quote the
I'm
Quran.
trying to help you with this, but you seem to not getting it. So the reason why you're not getting it is because you're not engaging with me. So let me ask you again.
Okay.
When we talk about invention of a camera, is that covered in ethics or is that covered in science?
So that is actually a relevant question in ethics, right? Because there is an ethical system that leads to the inventions of things like the camera. Because when you're studying ethics, you are studying the very foundation of the course of history. Right?
Excellent. So even the invention of the camera,
Right.
ethics
There is
has
basically
a
ethics
role to
behind
play in terms of whether it's okay to invent a camera or not.
No, not okay. That's a what, right?
Sorry?
That's a what.
Explain again.
So we're going back to it is semantics. Just because it's semantics doesn't mean it's irrelevant.
What does ethics have to do with inventing a camera? Explain again.
An ethical system gives someone the impetus by which to have the ideas to have a camera, right? Like under communist systems, right?
You're not giving the definition or two?
I am. So
What was the definition? What makes it right or wrong? So now tell me within that framework, inventing a camera, is that about right or
again,
wrong?
morals are what?
I'm not talking about
Ethics
morals.
are why. The why is
why
important.
are you talking to yourself? We said ethics is
I
about
don't know.
why.
I find it entertaining.
Josh,
Because I've had it.
we
keep on
said,
coming back to the same point.
Josh, you said,
ethics and morals are different.
you said,
Yes.
ethics is about why things are right or why
Right.
things are wrong.
Yeah.
Inventing a camera means it could be why this is right, why this is wrong. Is that what you're saying? It's covered in ethics.
That's not quite what I'm saying. So when you have an ethical system, right, it's like, what do you prize?
Tell me about the camera.
Hold on.
Does ethics cover that? Inventing
So
a camera?
for example, well, it kind of does.
Like
But-
what? How?
And that's what I'm trying to explain.
Okay,
So
we're
in
going to all
different-
listen now and
right,
see whether we
in
understand it.
different ethical systems, right? Like in America, we value freedom of speech, right? It's like we don't have speaker's corner because every place is speaker's corner, right? So we value freedom of speech. That's within our ethics. And because we value freedom of speech, right, we have basically the consequences of that ethical system. So we have essentially a moral system, a system of social norms, where you can't just tell people to shut up, right? We have a system of social norms where it's like, even if this person has a perspective that I massively disagree with, it's like I have to let them have that, right? We're very anti-censorship as a moral system because of our ethical system of valuing freedom of speech. This is the difference between ethics and values, right? So in communist systems, like when you see their ethical system, right, they value censorship because their ideas are bad, and the way bad ideas survive is that they have to have censorship, right? They have to stop criticism. So in a communist society, they don't have the ethic of freedom of speech, right? And that erodes their value of human freedom, and that erodes their value of human life, right? Because you basically have a system that, by its ethical system...
Did you bring your mic? Hashim needs something. No. Your own microphone.
Carry on, I'm listening.
Okay. So in the ethical system of communism, right, it is driving down everyone's quality of life, and it's driving down people's ability to innovate, right? This is actually a thing in the Soviet Union. Like there was a guy, the Gulag Archipelago talks about this. It relates this story. So there was a guy who was the main plumber in Moscow, right? Tried telling Solon like he was the specialist in his field, absolutely top-notch guy, knew everything about it, been working it for decades. Told Solon all the pipes are about to bust, and if you don't fix them right now and spend this much money on it, this is non-negotiable, like the city is going to fall apart, right? So they sent him to a gulag, because that type of honesty and that type of productivity is actually not valued in the ethical system of communism. They just want censorship, right? They want someone to tell things when things are right? So they put someone in that guy's place who told Stalin everything was okay, and then everything would fall apart, so they sent that guy to the gulag, right? So this is the ethical system of communism playing out, right? The laws are the moral system. So the act of actually sending the guy to the gulag, that's the moral system. But the ethical system behind it of being okay with lying, right? That is the problem there. That creates a moral system outside of it. So that's why I'm asking about the ethical system.
Now answer my question. All this background information was irrelevant. Answer my question.
Okay. What was your question? Can you please restate?
Do you not remember my question?
No. I've been on a spiel for like 5 minutes now.
Because you've been just doing what? Answering a question I never asked.
He went from
Yes.
Brixton to Peckham Rye
Yeah.
via Edinburgh.
Yeah. So now here, I talked to you about how does inventing this camera become a subject of ethics.
Yeah, I just answered that question.
And ethics was to deal with why something is right or wrong.
Right. So the ethical system, like someone that values invention, right? So like in America, we like capitalism. Right?
Are you going to explain again for another 5 minutes?
Yeah, apparently.
No.
So
be concise. If you haven't learned about concision or conciseness in speech, this is the time to actually
I'm
demonstrate
sorry I have
that.
to keep on re-educating
No,
you
no.
on this,
It's
but
not
apparently I
educating
do.
you. I'm educating you
So-
how to be concise. So demonstrate
I'm
yourself.
sorry,
You know
you're-
how to
you're
summarize
really
your
not
statement
educating me
in
on
1
ethics.
minute. Go on.
So
Summarize your
because there
statement
is
in 1
an
minute.
because there is an
Otherwise, I
ethical
can
because there is
teach
an
you that
ethical
if
system.
you don't know that.
I very much doubt your ability to teach at this point. So there's an ethical system, especially on ethics, man. This is so ridiculous. Like,
Did you study ethics in university?
No. Why do I need to? Like, one of us can actually competently talk about ethics and the other one can't.
Why
You've been
do you need
avoiding
to
the question this entire time.
What's his Christian ethic? I want to know that. What's Christian ethics?
Okay, so let's go back again. Ethics even covers inventing a camera. Does it cover backbiting?
So again, how does it cover a camera, right?
You explained. Don't have to
Yes.
explain again. So does it cover backbiting?
So, and again,
No, I don't want you to tell me about
Yeah.
camera. I've listened
No,
to
no,
you
no.
for 5 minutes.
all right. So again,
Your
the
speech.
question is, why is backbiting bad?
No,
I'm not questioning
asking
whether
about.
or not it
I'm
is.
not asking about why this is bad inventing. You explain
No.
why camera
I
inventing
explained,
camera.
yes,
Josh,
by an ethical system that generates
in an
cameras.
ethical system,
Yeah.
whether you invent camera or not, it's covered. Backbiting, does it get covered in ethics?
Does it?
I'm asking you, Josh.
Right.
You are the ones
No.
who are in the
But
teaching.
I've been asking you for the ethical basis of your belief
No,
system.
I am going to give you. I want to know whether you understand ethics first of all.
Clearly I do.
Right?
'cause I've been
Is
talking about it for
backbiting
quite a
part of
time.
ethics?
No, you've been talking.
No. So
doesn't
what
mean you
makes
understand.
backbiting non-ethical?
You're not answering this question.
Did you hear
That
my
is the
question, Josh?
No, because you were asking
Is
a moral
ethics
question.
covered in backbiting?
You are asking-
backbiting covered in ethics?
You are asking a moral question. You're not asking an ethical question. An ethical question is, why is backbiting bad?
Look, I am going to ask you again. Backbiting, I didn't say backbiting is okay, not okay, because ethics covers it, why something is right or why something is wrong.
Why?
So if somebody says backbiting is okay, I'm going to ask you, why is it okay?
Yes.
If somebody says backbiting is wrong, I'm going to ask, why is it wrong?
Yes.
So now, does ethics cover backbiting as a subject?
Ethics can cover.
Can cover. Well
But that's
done.
not necessary.
Well done. It
Right,
took
right.
so long for
But
you
it
to
doesn't
grasp that.
necessarily-
Are you a politician?
Good. It took so long to grasp
It
that.
took so long
no,
for me
no.
to grasp
Well
that. I had
done.
to explain this
well
4
done.
times
No,
to
no.
you.
Well, no. You kept repeating yourself.
Yes,
So well
because I
done.
had to.
No, well done for grasping it so long. It took you so long to grasp it.
I'm sorry.
Good.
I have a much higher
Okay.
command of the
Excuse me.
subject than you.
Is backbiting part of ethics?
Yes.
Yes. How long did it take him?
He's
Less than a
wrong.
second.
Less than a second.
He's wrong.
Oh, now you're telling me he's wrong.
All right,
Yes.
then,
Okay.
all right then. Here's a question for you.
Okay.
Slander. Is that part of ethics?
What? Is it ethical is the question?
No.
No, is it part of ethics?
No.
Is it part of
No,
ethics?
that is
That's
a
ethics.
moral question. So whether or not slander is
No
wrong is a
wonder. No
moral
wonder.
question.
Sometimes we
The
find
question
very
is
difficult
why
to speak.
it's wrong.
Listen.
You can't
If
conflate the two.
the Quran talks about why slander is wrong, is it covered in ethics or morality?
If it's talking about why, that is an ethical statement.
Do I have to repeat myself? I just told you.
Right.
If
so I have been questioning what is
listen,
the
listen,
like
listen.
just quote an ethical
Josh,
statement from the Quran.
Josh, if
The fact that it's taking you this long to quote an ethical statement from the Quran
stay
is kind of
away
underlining my
about
hypothesis
stay away
that there
from
isn't one.
stay away from personal.
This takes like 5
right?
seconds. I
Listen,
can go to a Buddhist and
now,
give an ethical statement in a minute.
if the Quran talks about why slander is wrong, would that be covered in ethics?
That would be an ethical statement, yes.
Right.
Which is what I've been asking for.
Right. So do you know why Quran considers slander is wrong?
I've been asking for that.
Do
Please
you
tell
know
me.
why?
Please tell me.
Do you have you read it?
Please tell me. Yes.
Okay. Show me the ayah where you've read about slander.
Okay, no, I'm asking you, why is it
You've read
why is
it.
wrong?
You've read it.
And my take from it
You've
is that
read
it
it.
lacks an ethical basis. And my take from it is that it lacks an ethical basis. This is actually, Al-Ghazali talks about this because he basically has to deny...
In which book?
Because he basically has
Which
to
book?
Because he basically has to deny
which book?
reality
In which
to
book?
make the system work.
In which book?
He denies objective morality.
In which book?
He says that Allah, in order to be all-powerful, could command evil
In which book?
and make it good. Because he needs to be
In
all-powerful.
which book?
Well, question. Is Allah all-powerful?
How many times have I asked this question? Loads of times.
What it
Which
looks
book?
like
Yeah.
Which
is that
book?
he's learned the name
Which
of a scholar, Al-Ghazali.
Thank you, brother. Which
Right.
book?
Am I wrong?
Which book?
Am I wrong?
Which book?
Am I wrong?
Josh,
Am I wrong?
I'm going to depart, leaving the discussion from a
Well,
clown.
you kind of need
a
to
clown,
because
a
I'm
clown.
proving you wrong.
I don't speak to clowns, so I'm going to ask you one final time, and I apologize for calling you a
I
clown.
might be a clown.
I
but it's
apologize
the
for calling
Lord's
him a
purpose,
clown.
all right?
Which book have you read?
I'm asking if I'm wrong.
Thank you very much. There you go, my brothers. Save your
that
batteries.
is
Save your
fairly
batteries
good proof
from speaking to
That I am
clowns.
correct.
There
and
you
all
go.
you have is slander.
I'm sorry. I can't speak to clowns. Sorry. Not you, but this guy. Brother,
It's blind obedience. And that's actually my point. It lacks an ethical basis. That's not an ethical basis.
save your battery.
That is the core argument. That is not an ethical statement.
The Quran has all of these rules. And Quran doesn't have to have a book. Quran is the book.
Yeah, so what you're saying is like every single tenet
Yep.
of ethics is intertwined in the Quran. Yeah?
I am saying the Quran gives descriptive and prescriptive guidance on ethics and morality. It doesn't leave a stone unturned to have guidance in this life.
So it's not a bite size. It's not a bite, like it's not bites of information.
Remember what I said? The Quran
It doesn't
gives as much information you need to live your life as ethical and moral.
There isn't a book that you can pick off the shelf that says this is the book of Sharia. There isn't.
Right. So
Yeah?
how do you deal with the extreme sides of the Quran, right? Without sort of an ethical sort of approach to it. So
Did you hear what I said? What did I say?
you were saying like all the ethics in the Quran is intertwined. There's no one.
No, I didn't say
book.
that.
That's what you said.
No, you weren't listening.
Okay. What was you saying then?
I said, whatever we need in terms of ethics and morality for our guidance, the Quran provides that.
Intertwined. There's no one book.
The Quran provides it. If it's intertwined or explained in the Sunnah, the Quran provides it.
It's in the book. It's in the book.
There's no one book to describe.
I just said,
explain that.
if you want to go and find a book called the Book of Sharia and take it off the shelf, that doesn't exist. Yeah. But everything that we need in order to live a
To live
moral
ethical
life,
and moral life,
a
the
just
Quran
life, to follow the rules is in the Quran
and the Sunnah of the
and it's
Prophet.
explained in the Sunnah. The Quran tells us what, the Sunnah tells us how. There isn't a book of Sharia.
So once you said something that's it, you can't have a book of wisdom to explain to
The
moderate.
Quran gives the rationalization wisdom in various cases. For example, the Quran talks about, say,
Hold on 1 second. Sharia, which is our law, is not a law of precedent. Yeah? I.e., this happened, and this is the example. This is what British law is based on, yeah? If things go to court, it's tested, and then that is used as an example for anything else that comes along. No, we are told exactly what we need to do and how we need to do it, and that is contained in the Quran and the Sunnah. It's explained later on amongst the Sahaba, the Tabi'een, and the Tabi'at Tabi'een.
next 3 generations of
Yeah.
Muslims.
And our scholars confirm that or deny that. Yeah?
When we differ between ourselves, who do we go to? Where do we go to? What is the best interpretation when we differ in something? God and His Messenger.
Absolutely.
That's the best interpretation.
That is our first. That is our.
So when
first
Muslims
port of
disagree,
call.
they don't just say, "Oh, you know what? You're very rich, so you must have a better
Yeah, you
interpretation."
go ahead. Yeah? That's our first protocol. The Quran. Can't find it there. go and have a look in the Sunnah. Yeah? And even if we find it in the Quran, we got to go and look in the Sunnah to find out what